Hey, this is CG1 and thank you so much for joining me once again. I want to talk to you about the big misconception of freedom. And this is exactly it. There's such a huge misconception when it comes to the topic of freedom. Interestingly, because earlier this week I was talking to a friend of mine and he was telling me about this case about this person who is going to be spending over 20 years or so in prison because of numerous crimes or so that he committed. And I'm like, wow, it made me think, because sometimes we want to do what we feel like doing or do what we want to do, and that can get us in trouble because we think that that's what freedom is, to have no sense of laws or no sense of rules to follow, but to do whatever we feel like doing. But this is not freedom. See, freedom is not the absence of laws. Freedom is not the absence of rules. It's quite the contrary. Think about it. You go into prison when you break the laws. You are imprisoned or enslaved, if you'd put it in that way, when you go against the laws or the rules, and it's called a crime. You're punished by breaking principles and laws. And in much sense, what is then freedom? Because you have freedom only on the basis of the fact that you follow laws and you are a law-abiding citizen. But even on the personal level, one thing I've faced numerous times, because I'm a person of principle, I live by my principles, my set of laws and rules that I follow. And so there are cases when, whether with friends or so, and I'm like, oh, do you know what? I can't do this because it will go against what I believe. It goes against my convictions and my own principles. And they're like, oh man, Joe, come on man, live, be free. As if I'm not free because I'm following my own principles. You see, the misconception about freedom is that for you to be really free is to do what you want, when you want, and do it. But I want to share with you that freedom actually imposes more laws and restrictions than actually being in prison, because you get in prison for not actually doing what you were supposed to do, for not following the laws. So even on a personal level, when you have your own principles and you're disciplined to say that this is what I do, these are my beliefs, these are my do's and my don'ts, my convictions, it's not to say that, oh man, you're not free because you have do's and don'ts. But quite the contrary. Your do's and don'ts, your principles, your own self-rules is what shows how free you are. Because freedom is more about imposing on yourself more laws and rules to follow. Quite the contrary to this idea of doing what you want, when you want, and living just by how you feel. What anarchy will engross our society if everybody was doing that? Because when somebody annoys me, I might want to punch them in the face. But then I tell myself, Joe, one of your principles is such that you don't live by how you feel. In a moment where you're angry, you do nothing, say nothing, and let it pass by. You let in and you let go. Because you don't want to just let in and let it build up, but you learn how to let it go. So as a result, I don't do what I feel like doing, I do what my principle states. See, this idea of doing what you want, when you want, and all of that is a myth. It's not freedom. It's what gets you in prison. It's what, and even if you're not in prison because you follow the outer laws, but in your own self-rules and your own principles, to not have any is a person who is truly not free. Freedom is having more laws and more rules that disciplines you to act in the right way. This is CG1, and you have the seed of greatness.